Yo, what is good, everybody? This is Joey from TCG, and what I want to talk to you guys about the state of the game, and I really am curious to see y'all's perspective on this, and this is why I really want to have an open conversation with this, not only in my Discord, but also in the comments, just to see what you guys think. But I want to do this once a set, where we talk about the state of the game, right? And what I mean by that is we're talking about prices, we're talking about the casualness aspect, we'll talk about the meta health, and we'll talk about the future of the game and where it's going. I think all of those four things right there will tell you how the game is going and how it's progressing, and then how things are shaping up, I guess, is like the most important thing to think about in that regard. So first thing we'll talk about is we'll talk about the meta health. So let me go ahead and show you guys the tier list that I had in case you guys missed it. So right here, okay, okay, that's fine. I have the camera in the same spot. So okay, yeah. So this is the meta right now. We got Lucci, Black Yellow Luffy, Black Luffy, Bonnie, Reiju, and then Zoro. I think those are the 6 best decks right now. And then in a little bit, it's gonna be Doflamingo is gonna go from Rogue to actual meta. So we'll have like those 7 best decks right then and there. So as far as meta goes, it's slightly diverse. I think right now in set 8 alone, it's not very diverse. It's basically just black and then Black Yellow Luffy, and then mixed in with, you know, like aggro decks like Reiju and Zoro, and then like a little bit of a jack of all trades with Bonnie. In set 8.5, Doflamingo is going to be added to there. Maybe, yeah, Doflamingo is going to be way better than Boa. So, you know, if anyone's going to play a blue deck with 5 life, it's going to be more than likely Doflamingo. So Doflamingo gets added in there and throws a little bit of mid-range in there, a little mid-range aggro in there as well. In terms of removal meta, I don't like removal meta anymore. I thought it was fun to have a nice little break from all the aggro decks like Zoro and Law and Whitebeard, you know, that we had for like the first, like, you know, 2 to 3 or 4 sets. And in set 5, removal was fun. In set 6, removal was fun. In set 7, it was no longer fun, right? Set 8, it's no longer fun. I don't like it at all. I think we are moving away from that, as Shanks is going to be one of the best decks in set 9. Purple Luffy is going to be one of the best decks in set 9 from what it looks like, as well as I think Doflamingo is still doing well, but I'm not entirely sure on the meta just yet for set 9. I have to do a little bit more research into that, but from what I can tell, that's pretty much what it's been shaping up to be. So far, if you guys have been playing the game for a while, you've seen aggro be really good, you've seen removal be really good, and now it's looking like it's kind of going back to aggro. I think we need to find a better in terms of meta health. We need to find a way to neutralize the effects of black by having more counterplay to them, or we need to nerf black to a certain extent, or we need to buff all the other colors up to their level. Now, I don't necessarily like buffing up all the other decks to their level, because that introduces power creep, which I don't think is very good, which is why I didn't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, because it got way out of hand. So what I suggest personally is a nerf to black, and also at the same time also probably have some anti-removal. So that is where the game is that is where the state of the meta health right then and there, right? That is the health of the meta. And in terms of the future of the game, you have, like I said, some more mid-range decks kind of coming into play. Like I know Dofi's kind of aggro, but he's also mid-range, and then Shanks looks to be mid-range as well. But you also have some aggro decks in there. I consider Purple Luffy kind of an aggro deck. Any deck that like really puts pressure on you from like the very beginning of the game is an aggro deck, in my opinion. Now, there could be different kinds, there could be different like flavors of aggro, but you know, Kalgura, Reiju, Zoro, Purple Luffy, they all seem like a little bit of aggro, to me at least. And mid-range would be something like, you know, if you guys ever played the game in set 1, Captain Kid, right? Captain Kid was more of like a mid-range style of deck. Crocodile, right? Crocodile, the one that I played in set 4, was more of a mid-range style of deck. I like those type of decks a lot better. So in terms of the future of the game, if we can move to at least like having a meta full of that for like 2 or 3 sets. That would be nice as a nice break from aggro and a nice break from removal. But right now it seems to be kind of balancing from going into, or I'm sorry, not balancing. It seems to be going like seesawing between removal and then aggro, because the only thing that can stop removal is decks that kill you before you can remove their stuff. So that to me worries me a little bit, you know, because I haven't seen Bandai do that great of a job addressing what needs to be addressed when it needs to be addressed. For a while I complained about red. They took forever to address it. Now I'm complaining about black. Hopefully they address it soon, but they haven't necessarily done it. Just because some decks do get better, like Shanks and then Doflamingo, doesn't mean black is necessarily nullified. That's just my sense on it. Like I said, I want to know what you guys think too, because obviously this is like a community discussion. Now we'll talk about prices. So I haven't been to my local game store in forever. I haven't really had too much fun with the game recently, but from what I can tell, prices are looking better, which is good, right? I'm not sure if that means that they just printed more or less people are playing the game. I'm not entirely sure, but I know you can pick up boxes for most things for like anywhere from like 90 to like $200, right? Now in the new boxes, I didn't go to pre-release, I'm not entirely sure, but I heard that some people were selling them and a lot of people were able to get them for like $100, pretty much MSRP pricing, which is really good. I really like that. So in terms of prices, the boxes, the sealed product is a little bit easier to find. It's a little bit less expensive, which is nice. In terms of the actual singles that you would buy, it's still a little bit expensive, right? And I know a lot of that has to do with EBO1, and some of that has to do from like set 4 being, you know, Sabo being like almost a $30 super rare. We've had much worse. We've had Borsalinos be almost $50. We've had Kuzans be like $25 to $30. We have had it much worse in the past, and obviously it's getting better now. Hopefully we are able to have a in the future pricing for all super rares be like at most like $15. I think that would be totally fine. Maybe hopefully like $10, but like I didn't mean to shake the camera like that, but it is a little bit of a daunting task, you know, if you're new to the game and want to pick up a meta deck, like for example a deck that plays 4 Sabos, like Black Yellow Luffy for example, and you look online and you're like, okay, Gecko Moria, the super rare, is going to be like, you know, $4 or $5 probably. Sabo's like $25 to $30, and then you need like the starter deck, which is like, you know, $30 each, and it's not as expensive as other games, but we want to be better than the other games. We don't want to compare ourselves to like a bad aspect of another game. We want to be better. We want to be an improved version of that game. So in terms of prices, they're getting better. They're not great, but they are getting better, so that's a good sign. Casual aspect. Now, guys, this is where I need your help on the most, because everyone knows I'm not exactly a casual player. I like to play casual decks, but I try to make them meta. I'm not someone that plays a casual deck and just likes to just lose all the time with the casual deck. It's just not me. It's not for me. So in terms of casual aspect, I will say that the people that were playing the game that I was really friends with that were casual back in Jacksonville are not having fun with the game as much, right? And they are saying that, you know, even though they do like to play the game, there are certain aspects, specifically black, funny enough, which is why I brought it up and why it's important to me that I address it. But there are certain aspects of the game that are just very unfun to play against, even if you are a casual player. And it feels like a lot of the decks that they want to play just don't even have a chance. And after a while, that isn't very fun, and I can totally understand that. But I want to hear from the other casual players as well. What do you guys think of like the casual aspect? Are you still having fun with like the new leaders that they're putting out? Are you having fun with the new support that they're putting out? There's obviously always going to be a meta for sure, but I want to know, for the people that are casually playing this game, is it fun enough to continuously play it and to invite your friends to continuously play it and get into the game, even if the meta is not very fun? Like, you know, of course you can play casual, you know, just the regular One Piece card game. So for example, you know, I invite you over to my house, I'm playing Black Yellow Big Mom, and then you're playing freaking, I don't know, what's a bad deck? I can't even think of one. the black Luffy, not the new one, the old black Luffy, right? That could still be fun, right? But I think some casual players, a lot of casual players that I know, still went to tournaments to have some fun with their friends and, like, you know, hang out in like a group setting, and like tried their best to win, but they also wanted to have fun in the process. I think those casual players right there are the ones that are more so leaving the game or not having as much fun and stepping away a little bit, because it's like why am I paying, you know, $8 every week to just go like 1-4 in a tournament, and then, you know, and then the only game I win is a bye, you know, like that I don't know, like I can't understand like the casual aspect mindset when it comes to that. So that's why I want y'all's opinion on that. But yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.